Hey everyone, I am going to be continuing the discussion this week of how to heal from past pain. My name is Mark Johnston. I'm co-owner of High Thrive Coaching and here for the High Thrive Live that we do every Thursday. So I know last week Heather had a lot of good information, and it was just such a broad topic that we figured we needed a little bit extra attention, a little bit more information to help all of you, because I know so many of you have been hurt or have been the cause of hurt, and absolutely to make things good again, to have a thriving marriage. Part of that is going to be dealing with the pain of mistakes and dealing with how to process that. So, as always, I welcome anyone to post questions. Let me know that you're here. Just put a little like there, just to interact a little bit, and I would love to answer any questions that you have, so that I can best help you all here. I mean, that's the purpose of these live streams. So, like I said, we're gonna go over healing from past pain, and to just start that off, I just want to explain, okay, what happens with all this? What is pain all about? And that might sound like such a basic thing. Of course, people know what pain is all about, but I like to really go in deep and look at things from multiple perspectives. So very much when there's been pain in a relationship, I think that pain is all about uncertainty, about chaos, about lack of security, lack of safety. And whether that pain is the uncertainty created by an affair, or whether that's another breach of trust or a lack of respect, people start to, when these things happen, they start to ask questions. And this is where that pain comes in, and they say, okay, what will happen to my marriage? That uncertainty there. What does something like an affair mean about me? They start asking questions about themselves. Aren't I good enough? And all of a sudden, the current circumstances, the future circumstances, even questioning about the past, they all come up, and it makes things so unsafe. We could even have a very extreme example and take this all the way to the end of the perspective of pain. And I view that in a relationship when it gets to the point of abuse, whether it's emotional, physical, but especially physical, and especially sexual abuse. The uncertainty comes up. Am I going to be physically hurt again? That same question. What does this mean about me? Aren't I good enough? Haven't I done everything right? I mean, sure, there's the actual pain in those sort of circumstances, but the reason why it lingers is all this uncertainty, all these questions. Hi, Christine. Thanks for popping in. So we have a little bit of an understanding, okay, what it is about all this. We can even take it to the other end of the spectrum. We have the one end where it's very extreme, very clear there's pain been going on. But if we take it to the other end of the spectrum, something much more mild, still there's that uncertainty. With things like snide remarks, with nagging, with little annoyances, those questions come up, that uncertainty. Is this just going to be another, is she going to keep pestering me? Is he going to just keep ignoring me? And so the pain lingers. So then what do you do about this? Absolutely, the way to heal from a lot of these things is quite the opposite of how this pain is lingering in the first place. It's about reviving, restoring certainty and security and safety. For anything to make any sort of progress there, the person who has been hurt, whether that's you yourself or your partner, they have to believe that that pain is unlikely to happen again. That certainty there. Um, they have very much the reason why it sticks around is they don't have that hope, and so we move past the pain as that things become more certain, more secure. So we see here, healing comes from certainty. The idea that someone can say to themselves, okay, I know I can be safe. I know I won't be disrespected. I know that, if the pain was, they didn't feel wanted, I know that I will feel wanted. And so that might sound overly simplistic, like, okay, just restore hope, because that's such a broad thing. Okay, so how do you create some certainty, and how do you create some hope? This is all going to depend a lot on where the current situation is at, whether your partner is really far gone and they don't even want to consider having hope again. They don't want to open themselves up to the possibility of being vulnerable and being hurt again. It would depend on, if they're on the other end of the spectrum and they've just been a little bit hurt, then the approach would be very different. A lot of the rules change on how to handle a marriage, how to handle a relationship, whether that relationship is very healthy or whether it's unhealthy, and everything in between. But what I can say is, just to have some very basic steps is very much the pain needs to be understood for there to have some hope again. If the person who is hurt doesn't feel like their hurt is understood, how can there be any chance to fix that pain, right? If I don't, if I have offended my wife in some way, I've disrespected her, how am I going to make that better if I don't understand why or how I've disrespected my wife? From there, there has to be some genuine remorse, some effective apologies. I do think that many times apologies are just, there ends up being all these excuses for your own behavior, excuses for why it happened, and it's just, there's a place and a time for excuses and for explanations, and usually it's not associated with the apology. I do think that once there's some remorse shown, once there's some understanding, from there, there can be some introductions of explanation why it's happening. This gives a sense of more security. If you know why it's happened, then we have a little bit of a handle on that problem, and we can add in a little bit of that measure of control, that security there. We know why the problem happened, so now we can do something about it. It's also going to be about setting expectations and following through on those expectations, having a plan for how to fix things. Now, of course, all these little points here, it's going to depend, like I said, where the relationship is at right now, where you're at, where your partner is at, what the problems are, there's going to be obstacles along the way, and this is where we get into just the fact that a lot of the times these sort of situations need a lot of personal attention in order to fix, and essentially that's where we come in to try and help people. So if you have any questions concerning how to heal pain, how to get over the past pain, I would love to hear from you. I would love to help you all out on this, because I know this is a huge obstacle for many couples out there to have any sort of progress. I do see some of you watching, getting a few likes here, so I know the topic is at least of some interest. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I can sit around here for a little bit, a minute or so, just to give you a moment to ask something. Otherwise, we will just I can check in from time to time. I like to check in on these live streams and just make sure that we're serving you here, that we're helping you out as much as we're able to. So with that, I'm going to conclude this week. Thanks for watching. If you have questions, put them in the comments below. And to just be honest, I have a busy day today, but I'll try and check in a little bit later today and answer any questions that do pop up. All right. Good luck, everyone. I hope you all have a great day, a great weekend, and we'll see each other next week.